Hi, this is our first recording of Property Probationers. We just wanted to sort of show what it's like to get started in the property world. So we're both new to property in the last year. So yeah, watch and just learn a bit more about us and how it goes for property. So I'm Becky Ballard.
And I'm Kerry Kelleher.
And we both actually met.
Officially
met through property, didn't we? After seeing each other on some social media posts. But it actually turned out that our daughters went trampolining together, and we both live on the Isle of Sheppey in Kent. And our daughters used to go trampolining. So my daughter's 11 and yours is...
recently turned 11.
11 too. And they used to play together at trampolining, but we just never actually knew each other.
See each other in the same room numerous times.
Yeah, and there we go. So yeah, that's how we met. And we're just gonna have a chat, and you can join us for that. So yeah, it's a bit random, wasn't it? How we got to know each other.
Yeah, it was. I used to try and avoid staying in that room, to be honest. I'd go and do my shopping, come back, collect her, go home. But
I would do my shopping as well, and I'd try and sit there.
Yeah.
But I think as well, it was the perfect time to just whiz around Aldi for 40 minutes,
Definitely
wasn't it?
was, yeah. I'm glad she stopped that now, though.
Yeah, every Tuesday night was probably a bit much. Although we're on gymnastics instead now. That's another... And you've got...
Stage school,
yeah. There's always something, isn't there?
Definitely is.
Costable.
And then there's me trying to fit the gym in.
Yeah, which is good. So you pick that up again now?
Well, yeah, today was my first day back after 7 weeks off.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I can't say I enjoyed it, but I'm glad I've gone back.
Yeah, you've got to get back in the routine of it, haven't you?
Definitely.
I had a few weeks off as well. But I mean, it's been brilliant because obviously it was Sunil from Sittingbourne Kent Property Millionaire Mastermind who told me about the gym, and I was going there anyway to watch gymnastics for 2 hours, and he was like, I'll go to the class, and I was like,
does he?
Oh, that'd be brilliant, because
I didn't think you'd have time to fit anything like that in.
He hasn't been for a while, but he was the one who told me about it, and then it was like, well, it made sense, because I'm paying to park anyway, like £2.80 whatever.
Yeah.
But if I pay £26, I get to go to 4 classes a month and get my parking back, so it kind of...
That's all right.
And rather than sitting there for ages...
No brainer.
Yeah, go do some stretching, which makes much
more
sense.
excuses.
And it's networking.
Yeah. So you go with Sunil?
We used to meet there, but he doesn't go in anymore. But then he introduced me to Tanya, who does the Ladies Who Latte, and that we went to Ladies Who Latte, didn't we? She just
she moved
leaving. No, she moves in probably the beginning of March.
Okay.
So that obviously led to me getting the next house and things. So, but anyway, what made you start in property? How did you get going?
I've always had a passion for property and always had it in my head. Like me and my husband, we've always said we'd love to be investors, and it was just a dream. Didn't think we'd ever maybe get in a position to do that. We were accidental landlords for a little while when we had a negative equity and were desperate to move out of our previous home when we had kids. Managed to sell that breaking even, and I suppose that then left that thought in my head, like, I've now got rid of that. That could have been an opportunity in the future to cash in on it or release equity, whatever there was. And I think that stayed in my brain for a little while. I was unhappy in my job, like ex-prison service.
Or just going on to that, and that's why we've called it Property Probationers.
Yeah.
To get it all the way around. Because obviously Kerry was prison service, I was police service, so it's kind of just fitting really what we're doing.
We're a good fit, I think, aren't we?
Yeah. Public service ex-workers.
Yeah, so I spent 13 years there, unhappy, and once I got out, it was more thinking, what do I want to do with my life? Had a little warehouse job as a stopgap, and then I got a job in social housing. Didn't at that point think I'm going to go down property investment route, but I thought if I'm in that sort of environment, who knows what might happen. So I've now been there 3 years and I haven't progressed or anything, but I think that's kind of deliberate as well, because I want my attention and focus on the things I want to do outside. So I went down to part-time 18 months ago to give me the time and that I needed.
Did you have 2 days off a week?
Yeah, 2 days in the week that are solely for trying to focus on property, learning about property. It's amazing how much there is to know.
Yeah.
How many different strategies there are.
Yeah. focusing. So what is your strategy you're focusing on?
At the moment, I still just want to get my first simple flip out of the way. Like, break me in gently.
It's good experience, isn't it?
And then
you can show people what you can do, and you're just more likely to.
Yeah, I suppose I haven't got there yet because I haven't got enough of my own funds. So, massive part of the last year has been networking and trying to connect with people that might be interested in either JVing with me or just being a private investor. So they make some money for doing not very much. But yeah, I haven't found that person yet.
Yeah,
if any of you are watching,
there's got to be people out there, isn't there?
There's definitely people out there. I think it doesn't help not having a background in property, like refurbing and that sort of thing. It might put some people off. But
I think it's just showing a track record, isn't it? That you can do it. You can manage a budget. You can manage a timeline, and do it on time. And I think it's just important to, like you say, maybe use your money first to do something small to just prove yourself, and then people will be like, "Yeah, she can do it."
I'd love to be able to use my own money, but where we live, my money's not going to stretch that far. And
Kent's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, I then think. For my first one, I'd love for it to be close to me so that I can keep a close eye on it. Definitely. And I've already got contacts that I believe I trust and would want to work with.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. To go further afield, like up north where it's a lot cheaper than that, I couldn't do it at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is people out there that probably are in my network already that...
Yeah, I know people up north who could probably help you, but it's like you say, it's just that, especially the first time you want to learn as well. And if you're not there learning every day,
I'd want to be there once a week. I think checking in, taking
100%.
photos at least.
Progress.
It will happen. It's just I don't know when it will happen yet.
Just got to keep showing
up. Keep plodding along.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, your journey?
Yeah, obviously. So I retired from the police early after 18 years ill health retirement, and I was, I suppose, lucky enough, if you call it that, to get a pension and a lump sum that I could then invest into a property. And it was for that reason, really. I was looking at property before anyway, couldn't really work out how to get started. I was thinking, how do those people do it without loads of money? Like, it just doesn't. And I kept seeing all these things on social media about it, and it was obviously Touchstone and Abby.
So you did see Touchstone.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this morning, and I was thinking, how did I get started? And it was Abby on Facebook.
Yeah, and it was said about releasing the equity from your house to buy something.
I think for me it was more the no money down stuff and getting private investors. Like, oh, hang on a minute.
Well, originally how I started was because I was looking at ways of starting up my own business from leaving the police. So I started Shift Success with Alex Seary, who was in the police and left, and he helps you start up your own business, because it's quite hard to get going, isn't it? You don't know all the things you have to think about, and just everything. There's so much to it, but you just kind of helping hand through it and promoting yourself and things. But he does property, and obviously because I didn't have an idea of what business I wanted, he suggested HMO management. But I was like,
did you even know what a HMO was at the time?
No.
For anyone that don't know, house of multiple occupancy.
Yeah, so when people like co-living and sharing. So I think it was the fact that I was looking into it, and once you start going down that rabbit hole, it's like, wow, there's a lot in property.
It really opens your eyes.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't actually want to manage the properties, I want to own the properties, because that seems to be where the more money is. And my thing for me was always like, obviously in the public services, there's only so much you can ever earn. And I was sick of only ever sort of getting to that ceiling and
definitely
not being
not
able to
paid
do anything
enough.
else. No, and so I was just like, what else can I do? And see, there is money in property, and people do make a lot of money. So I just kind of thought I'd rather be owning the properties. And then I think it was, doing that started me sort of thinking, well, looking, and obviously things start popping up, don't they? Your algorithms and your social media.
Yeah, that's all you ever see now.
Yeah. And it hadn't even occurred to me. I think it was Rich Dad Poor Dad as well. Have you read that?
I've started to read it.
Yes, that's really good. So obviously it's all about, your own home is a liability.
Yeah.
Your second home is, making money there, a lot assets. So you want to have more assets, which is why I thought, well, if I release the equity from my house, buy something else, and also use my pension money as well, and then I've now got 2 houses.
Yeah.
Worth the same. So that was really good. But it was scary, like absolutely
Yeah, I'm
petrifying,
sure.
and
You're so brave.
it took a lot of
it.
we took a lot of convincing Pete to like release the money because
Yes.
we've always had the mindset of pay your mortgage off as quick as you can.
Same as us.
Yeah, because you just think it's
drilled
safe.
into you, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
But actually, it's kind of dead money, isn't it? Because your house value is going to go up, and it's just So actually, the interest you're paying on a interest-only mortgage is kind of getting eroded away with inflation.
Inflation, yeah.
So just kind of, it's like, oh, okay, light bulb moment. What can we do? And then I think it was just that was the right house for me at the time. So I found the little bungalow, and I just saw its potential because it had sea views, but they hadn't really pushed that in the right move listing. So I was like, well, that's quite a good house because it had a really big loft once I got up there and had a look at it, and a garage that could easily be converted without any extension.
Yeah.
But make the absolute most of the sea views, and it was just like a no-brainer, really. It did, but it's a massive learning curve. Like it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did you say you paid? Was it 280?
Yeah, so I bought it for 280. One bed, one bathroom.
So I wouldn't have even looked at something like that.
Okay, but also it's knowing that you can add the value, so you're pushing the value up really quickly, aren't you?
Yeah.
Rather than sort of holding it for 10 years, which a lot of buy-to-let investors do. They buy something they can rent straight away, not adding any value, and then wait 10 years for the value to go up to release more money to buy the next one.
Yeah.
Whereas this just made more sense to release the money now, because 6 months later I could remortgage it and it was worth 450.
Yeah, because I've looked at so many bungalows locally.
Yeah.
Obviously looking for a more simple flip. I don't want to be.
I would do a garage conversion at the most. Don't do a loft. Loft
Yeah,
is
I don't
okay.
really want to go down that route just yet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
or a simple layout where you can add an ensuite, or you can open up a kitchen
knock
and
it all
diner.
down. A nice open plan.
But obviously, to increase the value by a lot, to release the money, you need to be adding bedrooms or bathrooms.
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But there's some gems out there.
Yeah,
I have come
100%.
across some, but just haven't been able to get the funding. But it will happen one day, I'm sure.
Or no money down.
Yeah.
Because that's an option, isn't it?
Yeah.
And people don't know about it. Like, what did you think when you first heard it? Because I always thought you buy a house or you rent a house. There's nothing like else you can do. But yeah, what was your thoughts when you first heard these other options and strategies?
I still don't believe there is a true strategy with absolutely no money down. I think I got sucked into that a little bit, like rent to rent. I was like, oh, that sounds easy. Like, oh, I might be able to get someone in there renting off more holiday let. I was looking at.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So rent to rent is like it's a legal subletting type thing,
yes,
isn't it? So it's a lease with a
lot of
a landlord, and then you rent it out or something else. And
things you need to check out if you're going to do it. But it's a good strategy, and there is lots of people out there that manage to get the first 2 months rent free. So that might be no money down if it's good to go. Obviously, if it's an empty property, you've got to furnish it. There is an expense.
Yeah, you can lease furniture,
but it's still an expense. You don't definitely have a guest at that point.
Yeah, so you've got to lease it initially, pay for it in a month's time, but in that time you get the guests
and hope that you've had a guest.
It's risky. It's risky.
I'd say you need a little pot there just in case.
Definitely.
But it's potentially no money down.
Yeah.
But strategies like that, they are definitely interesting.
Well, for example, obviously the one I'm due to set up end of February, beginning of March, it's technically no money down. I mean, it's £1. Yes. In the lease contract, it'd be £1 that I pay every day.
Isn't it?
Yeah, purchase lease option. So we have a contract all written up, but it's the contracts are expensive. That's nothing to factor in. It's like £1,800 for the contract. Yeah. So that you've got to factor that.
So is that? I've never looked at PLO, like gone that far into it. I know what they are. I'm definitely interested in it, but did it vary a lot? Did you go to a lot of people for the legals? And
it was all about the same. I think one person quoted me £3,000. Oh, wow. So I was like, no, that's like double what I'm being quoted. And two others were around about the 1,500, 1,800 mark. But it depends on how much you want them to do, like the searches, and because they're doing all the searches as if I was buying it now.
Oh, okay.
They won't be relevant in the time I come to buy it, but it's just nice to know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just good to know what's happening with the property now. So with that one, obviously it's £1 down to buy it now. Yep. I rent it for 7 years.
Oh, you've agreed on 7 now?
Yep, 7 years at £2,000 a month, which in that time I'll Airbnb it to hopefully make more than £2,000 a month. Obviously it's hard to know because it's in an area where it's there isn't many Airbnbs, so it'll be interesting. But there's hopefully a lot of contractors.
That's
I'm
where
getting
I
more
think you're
contractors.
brave, because obviously where we live, I wouldn't have said it's really
Well, I've just had contractors
holiday
in my bungalow, like in my
Yeah.
tourist bungalow, in the week, and there's contractors that are from, I don't know, Corby or somewhere,
yeah,
but they're working in Aylesford.
and
So
they're
that's
happy
like
to travel here.
It's like a half an hour drive, and they're staying here.
Okay.
But that's maybe because I'm just cheaper, obviously, during the week than a hotel.
Yeah,
And it's much nicer.
Oh yeah.
Like he said, he saw
I know what
that
I'd stay in. Give
well,
me
yeah.
a choice.
and he said that he saw they plugged in their like PlayStation onto the Wi-Fi and
Make
stuff, so they
themselves at
can
home.
sit there. Yeah, it's just a home from home, isn't it?
Oh,
Rather
brilliant.
than one hotel room each.
Yeah.
Just meeting up for a dinner or something. So
it's picking up.
you just
then,
don't know,
the
do you?
bookings.
Yeah, it's gone mental,
Oh,
which is
brilliant.
really, really good. Well, I say mental. We've still got a few like weekdays that I need to get, but we just like obviously lowered the price to try and get some more bookings in.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if it follows suit with that one, and obviously I think there'll be more contractors around that area because of the location of the road network and the amount of
There's going to
housing
be a lot
that's
of
going
building
in.
on.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully push the price up of that house anyway.
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully. And that's the plan, see. So you obviously buy it in 7 years' time at the price that was on the market for 525. We've agreed a price of 510
Yeah.
in 7 years' time.
So that's quite unusual to manage to get a PLO for below the asking price it is now.
Well, I think
So
it's
you've
because
done well
I think it was more the fact that they knew that it was, obviously it hadn't sold at 525.
Yes.
So therefore it's probably not
really
worth
its true value,
525.
yeah.
So they were realistic, the fact that it's probably worth 510.
Okay.
So, and originally we had agreed 500 in 5 years, but then we went with 510 in 7 years. So it just gives me a little bit longer to make the value up. So
it's kind of irrelevant to you, isn't it?
Well,
if you get an extra 2
hopefully-
years of it, hopefully
the increase in the value, then that is, and it will give it more time for the building works that are going on around there as well to sort of settle down and be
Yeah.
finished. Because you don't want that going on when you're trying to revalue a house. So
No.
hopefully that will all work out.
So is there a set date for all them houses to start?
No, it's just they've just acquired the land or something.
Ah.
So it could be a while, couldn't it?
A long time, yeah.
But hopefully, like you say, once they build around there, it'll push the value up, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it'll be my first PLO, and it's a learning curve, and I must reply to the solicitor and agree to the draft contract, and they sent some bits through this morning. But it's almost like you're buying a house, but you're just not buying it right now. Also have stamp duty to pay in sort of 7 years' time as well. So that
who knows what's going to happen with stamp duty by then?
Exactly. So that's
Especially as an investor.
Yeah, so you just don't know.
You don't know.
It's 5% extra at the minute, isn't it? It's just gone up from 3%. So yeah, we'll see. But I've sent out loads of letters recently to. I was using Property Filter.
Yes.
So you gave with your code that you gave me.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And so I've sent out loads of letters, like 30 odd letters to other houses locally that would probably fit the PLO criteria.
Yeah.
So either to rent and to buy, like chain free, been on the market a long time, empty, so that sort of thing where, it's just not moving, and it might be the case that they don't need the money right now for it. And that's the thing, is it just helping? You're just helping someone. Obviously, with the new house I'm taking on, it's because even if they had have sold it, they wouldn't have been able to move out in time with how long it takes for the sale process. Probably wouldn't have released enough to do what they needed to do. And so it's a win-win, because it means they can actually move on and do what they were, move abroad, which is what they were wanting to do.
Yeah,
so
you've helped them do that.
It's just finding that.
It doesn't work for everyone, but
100% no, yeah.
I don't believe enough people know about it that they could even consider it as an option.
No, definitely not. No, and that's raising the awareness, isn't it, of all these other things. So that's PLOs, obviously. You've got vendor finance as well.
Yeah.
People just don't know what that is.
Well, you almost had an opportunity, didn't you?
Yeah, put an offer out there.
Still
but
might
we just
happen
don't,
one day.
we just don't know. But it's when obviously they don't need the money. They've already got money either in the house or sitting in savings or something, and they can then loan it to you to then buy the house off of them.
Yeah.
And then they become your bank, basically.
Yeah.
So again, contracts all got to be drawn up and things. But it's just, again, one of those strategies that people just haven't heard of, and it just sounds like absolute craziness.
Yeah, it does.
But it is a real thing, and it's all legal and above board, and yeah.
I don't know how you've done it. Like, you've progressed a lot. So when did you actually officially start with property? A year ago?
Well, full time a year ago.
Yeah.
That's when I retired from the police.
Yes.
So it's literally almost a year to the day. It was end of January 2024. Thank you. And I probably started looking into property. Must have been about September before that.
Yeah,
setting up.
I joined Touchstone, like their Wealth Academy program, August 23. That would have been, wouldn't it? So obviously started my learning journey. All excited. You've done one of their courses, haven't you?
I did the weekends, I think it was like £9.
Oh, you didn't even do the course.
Oh, I did buy the
You
essay
did buy
course,
the course,
but I didn't actually do it. Saying I've actually finished it.
Okay, but you've got the essays, so you don't really need to.
Like you say, it's the learning. It's what you get actually doing it and the experience. Because I'm not very good at reading stuff and taking it in. I have to actually do it, and that's what. And then doing the refurb, massive learning curve, obviously. But
I'll be pulling on your knowledge when I get to that point.
Yeah, it's just so many things you just don't know, isn't there? Like with the bridging loan, for example, I bought it on a bridge, but it was like a refurb bridge where they give you 25 grand at each stage. But you've got to have 25 grand to start
it off. Yeah.
Then you spend 25 grand and it's obviously almost to the penny, and then they'll release the next 25 grand and then keep going. And I end up using all my reserves, but it's because we end up doing a bit more, putting a dormer on.
You enjoyed shopping too, didn't you?
I did enjoy it. I didn't go too much shopping and spending too much. But I did try and get some bargains, obviously marketplace, or got a lot of stuff second hand, and because once it's been used once, once it's been slept in once, it's used, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's the point of putting everything in brand new?
I love a
Save
bargain.
some money.
I'd do the same.
Yeah, it's just the time and effort to actually drive around and find. Chasing people, driving around finding it, and then like I say, I'm sourcing it if it's online.
And hoping that it's in the condition you thought it was in once you get there.
Yeah, which doesn't always work out, does it? I picked up some chairs yesterday for the new house to match the ones that are already there, so that's good.
Oh, brilliant.
4 for £40, so that's good.
So are you nearly done setting it up?
No, that's what we were saying about, wasn't it? About the cost of, the actual initial cost of setting things up. It is really expensive.
Yeah.
I did a spreadsheet the other day of how much I'd put into the bungalow. And with all the links to everywhere that I've bought everything, just so I can quickly and easily go back to find things and buy things for another house. And I was surprised, it was about £7,000 just to set it up. And that was doing some things on the cheap, some things obviously not so much. So it's a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot. Have you looked at renting furniture and stuff like that?
No, I've just gone for cheaper.
I think I'd rather buy it as well. I know there is that option, obviously, to lease it, but I don't know how much it is.
I probably did look. I'm gonna lie. I probably did look in the early days, but I just thought I'd actually rather have it and buy a lot of it second hand.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky in the sense of leaving a lot behind, because obviously they're immigrating, that helps massively. But it's just things like beds, sofas, expensive things, mattresses, bedding. You need 3 sets of bedding per bed. I'm not doing bloody zip-link beds again because they're a pain in the bum. Because you've got to obviously find out what the guest wants before you can set it up. The cleaner's then got to set it up in the right way. And if it's the wrong, but then obviously you've set it up, but then you get a booking in between, you've got to then bloody change it.
Is it that difficult?
It's a nightmare.
I've never even looked at one.
Oh my god! And the duvet zips in the middle, so which is really good.
Oh, so you can separate
but then you can, so you can separate it. But then you've got to change all that, and then you've got to change the sheets. Then the mattress protectors, it's just, and then you've got to unclip them and unzip. Oh, it's just, everything just takes ages, and it stresses me out. Because usually me, that's then go back up there and quickly change it.
Because that is one of the tips, isn't it? Get a zip-link bed,
but
you don't like it.
I don't like it.
Fan.
No, I think if people are going to stay, if they know the person, friends will share a bed, won't they?
Oh, I'm sure most would.
Yeah, so I think it's mainly more contractors and things, but I think
I don't know
at the moment
they
I've
might want to share a
no,
bed.
probably not. And I think they're probably using my twin beds at the minute, so I think I'd probably put mostly kings in.
Yeah.
And then with the odd single or spare bed somewhere.
Yeah.
I think zip-link is just a pain in the bum, and they're more expensive obviously in the first place. But because of the bedding, if you think about it, if you need 3 sets of bedding per bed, that's 3 sets of king and 3 sets of 2 singles.
Yeah.
So it's just
yeah,
too much. And that would cost a fortune, getting good quality bedding, because obviously that's massive on the reviews, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you need to have good quality stuff.
But you found your little crease spray, haven't you?
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. Just don't spray it on the floor, like someone said.
Don't spray it on the floor?
Someone said spray it on the floor, it's really slippery. So
you
actually
okay.
not slipping over.
Oh.
I won't do that.
So once this one's set up, What's the plan?
Just trying to get another one.
Locally?
Yeah.
You're going to stay local?
Like you said, it's easier, isn't it? Because obviously you've
Yeah.
got to, I was just travelling it. Like the other day, well, I was feeling crap, got like cold and everything. Just chilling out on the sofa, I wasn't doing anything. And then suddenly I was getting these like messages come through, and it looked like a scam. I just suddenly got a message saying, "Oh, the guy's going to be there in like a couple of hours. Can you give me the code to get in?" And I was like, "That's a scam," because like no, because I hadn't been expecting a booking that day, and I was like, "That's a scam." Checked my emails, then realised I had actually booked, but totally last minute. Like literally had just booked it, and they were arriving in a couple of hours, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I wasn't expecting anyone for another couple of weeks, really.
Oh wow!
So it was good to have another booking in.
Yeah.
I was like, panicked, like quickly rush up there and just make sure everything was okay.
So have you got
new cleaners?
One night stays, or you
No,
got a
minimum of 2.
Yeah. Oh, I don't
Otherwise,
like
it's too much.
Yeah, it's not worth it, is it?
No, because it's too big to clean.
The cleaning cost alone. Yeah.
I think if you had something small, like a 1 bed,
and you're managing it yourself.
Yeah, then it'd probably be all right, but because it wouldn't take too much to turn over. But a 4 bed, 2 bathrooms is too much to turn over in a day.
Yeah, I
or just
fancy
overnight.
that.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to do it. So I outsource everything.
Yeah,
so I don't have
that's
to
a
work
smart way.
on it or in it. I'm on it, not in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think many people start off that way, do they? I think a lot of people do try and self-manage, keep costs and that down, but
it is like obviously I've even got the virtual assistant who does all my admin for me, all my bookkeeping, the bookings, the guest communication, everything. She's absolutely brilliant. I don't know what I would do without her.
Where's she based?
Philippines.
And how much do you pay her an hour?
She's £8.80 an hour through the company.
Yeah.
Who Vavavoom, who do sort of like property VAs. They're sort of trained in property.
That's actually a really good rate for them as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I know you can. I mean, one developer I was talking to said he pays like £3 an hour for his. But I wanted, like, because I've never done it before, I wanted the sort of stability of going through a company and they train and it's just me interviewing them just to see if how I get on with them.
Yeah.
And then they do the rest, so it just makes it easier, really.
So how are your bookings managed? Is that all done by your VA?
Yeah, so she does it all through. We have Simple, which is a free version of Tokit, because it's up to 2 properties, I think, 2 or 3 properties, and it's called Channel Manager, and it just manages everything for you in one place. So all the bookings that come through Booking.com, Verbo, Airbnb, or even the direct bookings on the website, it all comes through to the same place.
Yeah.
And then, so the calendar is obviously like blocked out, so that you can't get double bookings. So that's massive.
I've heard some horror stories about double bookings.
Because obviously the more properties you take on, the more complicated it's going to get, isn't it? And then the cleaners can log into it, and then they can see when the checkouts. Yeah. And then she's very cleverly colour coordinated each booking to show whether they want a twin bed or a king bed for the pain in the bum zip link beds. So that was really clever. So she just, I mean, I if I see a message, I will respond to it straight away, just because obviously it helps with your algorithm to push you up the in the listings if you're responsive to guests. But yeah, she does like loads. She does all my sort of marketing stuff, all my welcome booklets. Absolutely tons. I'm not doing her justice really because she does loads, and she's just always there. Bless her.
She's do a whole session just on your VA.
Yeah. I definitely recommend it. And I wanted to start, even though it wasn't, financially viable to start with a VA, or to start with all these systems and subscriptions and everything, because it just seems to be a subscription for everything. Yeah. I just wanted to do it from the start.
No, I don't blame you.
So that I can then grow.
Yeah.
Then obviously the idea is that my time is then spent getting the next one.
And that's what you're doing.
Hopefully so. Yeah, that's the plan.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, so what's your plan for next then? What are you gonna do to achieve?
Well, I'm still networking. That's never going to change. I think that's something you should always do when you're in the property world. And
do you wish you started sooner?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Considering I started learning in that August 23, I didn't go to my first networking event outside of Touchstone until September just gone.
So like a year later.
A year later. I was terrified.
Yeah. It's really scary, isn't it? Put yourself out there and not knowing.
I don't know why it took me so long, because what would it have been? 3 months into joining Touchstone, they had an event in London.
Yeah.
And I put myself forward to present the deal on stage.
That's very brave.
Yeah, didn't even think about it. I just thought, right, it's a good opportunity. I'm going to jump at the chance. I don't think I really thought I'd be picked to go on stage, but I was. I think there was 10 of us, 10 to 15. I can't remember now. It feels like a lifetime ago. But yeah, I went with my husband, so I know I had a little bit of support in the audience.
That's good that you support him, goes with you.
Yeah, because he's in a totally different field. Like, we're not at a point where he could come on board or anything yet. Hopefully in the future. But yeah, he was there, front row, supporting me, and I managed to get on stage in front of 300 people.
That is amazing.
I did do a really good job. I did have a few people approach me afterwards that I've got as a contact, so potentially in the future we might work together. But nothing come of it at that point. But I'm so glad I did do that. Massive confidence boost.
Yeah, out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I'm always trying to push myself out of my comfort zone now, but with the networking, it took me far too long. I don't know what was holding me back. I think it's walking into a room full of strangers, feeling really out of place.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm a property investor. That's
good, because mindset is the biggest
mindset
thing, isn't it?
is massive. But then when you know you're walking into a room full of people that are probably miles ahead of you and have got these massive portfolios, you're like, what can I bring to that conversation?
But have you found though that actually it's not like that at all? And
it's not.
A lot more people started out.
It's the most supportive network I've ever come across. Like, everyone wants you to win.
Yeah.
There's no competition.
That's probably coming from the public services, isn't it? Everyone's almost like battling against each other, and it's like, it is eye-opening, isn't it? And it's refreshing.
But then I think as well, like before I joined the prison, I envisaged being a beauty therapist. So I am a qualified beauty therapist, so I don't do it anymore. But that is a very bitchy industry.
Yeah.
And
it
is very competitive.
Yeah.
And so now I suppose I just thought that everywhere would be the same. But it's been really refreshing, and I actually really enjoy networking.
Yeah, I do as
and
well.
look forward to going to the events. It's not a chore.
Yeah.
It's a good fun night out sometimes. But we go to quite a few of the same ones, don't we?
Yeah, we've got good ones around here. So we've got Pin, which is tonight, which I might go to.
Yeah, I'm probably not tonight.
Yeah, I haven't been to it for months, so I do need to go back to it just to get reconnected. But so Pin's tonight. Property and Poppadoms is next Tuesday in Ashford.
Yeah, I did an online one last night. I don't know if you was
I didn't go to that one. I was painting the kitchen.
Yeah.
That was about renters' rights.
Renters' rights bill.
Yeah, because I haven't got tenants, it wasn't really as relevant to me. I don't really want to know.
No, I'm still in that. I know I really don't want a single let because of all these changes. It's just going to be so much more difficult.
HMOs be the same though.
Yeah, I'm coming around to this idea that maybe I don't want to. Because I thought,
but HMOs are a good cash cow. Like they are good for cash flow and
they
more
are
guaranteed cash flow.
I think it's a little bit easier to get a problem tenant out of a HMO because if they're causing a nuisance to the other tenants, I think you've got a little bit more leeway of getting them out. I'm still unsure now of what way I want to go. Initially, I thought I want a couple of flips this year to carry on building my pot.
That's a good idea.
To then go into HMOs, but I might have a shift there.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll start following in your footsteps.
Watch the space. Well, I mean,
but I won't be your competition. I'll find somewhere else.
This is the thing about it. It's not like, and even the people that like have got Airbnbs have been really helpful to me because
really
there isn't a competition because everything's different anyway. Like you've got different makeup of how many beds you've got, how many guests you can take, what you accept.
I think it's important to say your first one is disabled access, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's wheelchair friendly, which is like on the ground floor, which is I what made me do it. I think it was the fact that it already had a wet room.
Yeah.
And a bedroom on the ground floor because that's obviously important.
Yeah.
And I thought I've only got to widen the doorways, which was actually a bigger, more expensive job.
I'm sure it was quite a big job. That the person that done it.
I'm sure it's about £600 per doorway or something. So and that was like 3. Or they were putting a new one in, so that didn't matter because that was just being created. So it took 3 doorways that you put in, and then obviously I had to buy the ramps and the grab rails and things.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make it more accessible, I suppose, because there isn't any.
No,
really.
Is
it's
it
sort of caravans.
the only one in Kent?
It is on certain sites. There is on like the Accessible Holidays website, which we advertise on. But most of the like properties obviously on the island are caravans, and you don't get many disabled caravans. You do get some, surprisingly. I didn't think you did, but you do. And I just kind of wanted to open that.
It's a totally different way of life to caravan. I know this island is hugely popular with people going to caravans. Someone did tell me how many caravans there are on this island,
it's ridiculous.
And I was amazed.
Yeah,
but
so not everyone wants to stay in a caravan, do they? And it's a different, like you say, it's a different holiday. And we get a lot of people from sort of London, Surrey, that sort of way. Which is where my people I know have got another Airbnb. That's where they get their guests from. So it's just been really interesting to see the demographics really. And I've had one wheelchair user, and I've got another couple booked in, I think. So it's obviously
you had
needed.
Really good feedback, didn't you, from the first one?
Which is like, it's such a relief because
so worried.
I was really worried because you just, as a not a wheelchair user, you don't know what you need. And I was, it sounds bloody stupid, but every time I saw someone at like the supermarket in a wheelchair, I kept thinking like,
can you come and check my Airbnb?
Should I just say like, do you fancy 2 nights free, like to stay if you could try out my property?
I'm sure someone would have jumped at the chance.
I did think that. I did have one lady actually contact me who was like from a Facebook group where I put it on there asking about ramps and stuff. And she said if you want me to come over, but she was quite far away. I felt bad like getting her over. But it's good to know it does work. It is accessible. But the next property won't be, so that's not going to be my whole sort of niche. But it's definitely something I'll look to do in the future if I can get another, especially something smaller, because a lot of people have said that it's too expensive, because obviously probably if they just want to stay as a couple or something, you don't want to hire out a whole big house. So it's not big, but it's 4 bedrooms. So I suppose something smaller, like a 1 or 2 bed, as an accessible would be brilliant.
Yeah. And
obviously another thing about smaller properties, maybe for you to look at, is all the people that come out of the caravans for 2 months of the year.
Yeah.
And when that's the quiet season.
There's a lot of people on this island that need that.
But I put mine out there, but it was just too expensive. Even when I reduced it to sort of like 2-3 grand a month, it's just too much for people.
Yeah, I was looking at buying caravans, wasn't I?
But they're expensive.
And I was asking what they rent out for, and I think I'm sure they were saying sort of a 3-bed caravan's about £800 a month. So if they've been used to paying £800 a month,
they're not going to want to pay a lot.
No.
But if you think about it, if a normal AST is like about 1,600,
where we
up to £2 grand at the moment, a month at the moment. So if that's what they would be paying, isn't it? If they were going to rent somewhere, but you're not going to be able to rent somewhere just for 2 months.
No, you're not.
And then you've got to pay for the privilege, I suppose.
Yeah.
But so I think if you could just need to find that little niche and that little 1-bed little place that you can rent out for cheap in January, February, or February, March, whenever it is. When it's quiet the rest of the time, some money coming in.
There'd be more than enough business for both of us, I think. 100%. Go do that. Go down that route.
100%. And this is the thing as well, like you were saying about competition. It's not competition. It's nice that you've got someone to actually go like, what do you think of this, or what would you do with this?
Another thing is
so much out there.
If someone contacts you wanting to stay in your property and yours is fully booked, you're like, actually, I've got a friend who's got one just down the road. Like, how about this? And
I'm going to offer to other people to advertise on my website as well.
Yeah.
So I've got Sheppy Stays, which is just the bungalow at the moment, but obviously soon it will have the Ioway house. But I'm going to put all the properties on it, and then if other people want to come onto it, then they can pay a small amount and then advertise on there as well, because it's already getting sort of noticed, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
So just
more traffic coming through the bell.
Yeah, and hopefully keep it all within Sheppy. I might have to change the name to Swale Stays rather than Sheppy Stays.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Spread it out a bit. But it would be interesting then. Watch this space and see what else happens. And
it's an exciting time.
Have you got any viewings coming up? Or?
Do you know what? I've taken a step back the last couple of weeks, just trying to refresh the brain, because I've overloaded it in the last 18 months.
I suppose, especially if you're looking at a potential strategy change, because it's...
I don't know how many times I've swapped. Like the ideas in my head of, right, I'm going to do this, and then I'm thinking, I don't actually really want to do that.
They say you've got to actually
find it and focus and just go for it.
And do well at that one thing, rather than...
Which, it will be the flip. But I'm still... There's a few potentials out there that are kind of in the background that I've said my bit and I'm waiting to see if something comes of it.
Yeah. Is it no, not now? No, what is it? No, not now. No, not ever. So
yeah,
things do come back.
Yeah, I'm always keeping my eye out for these things that come back, and there's bungalows being built by the builder I plan on using, and the person that he's paying to have them built can't afford to finish off his own bungalow.
Right.
So he had a bungalow there that got burnt down.
Oh, that's sad.
It is sad, and the insurance refused to pay out. I'm not sure of the whole story.
Okay.
They only paid to clear the land.
Right.
So yeah, he's had to find funds to build it. He didn't. He apparently had to apply to build it. I'm not sure why. I didn't realise you'd have to apply to build what was already there.
Yeah.
I got planning refused to build what was there.
That seems
bizarre.
bizarre.
Yeah, it does. I've not looked into everything, but
Yeah, it might be worth having a look on the planning portal.
yeah, I'm not at that stage yet. It's just an idea in my head at the moment. But yeah, he then put in planning for 2 semi bungalows and got approved.
Yeah, which seems...
So yeah, he's building the shell. He's managed to get the finance for that. He's living with his parents and obviously desperate to get his own home back.
Yeah, I bet.
So yeah, he can't afford to fund and finish his own one. So I thought there was potential there that I could help him if I took one off of his hands to do what I want to do with it, and probably sell on rather than holiday let because of the
Not
location. No.
Oh, okay.
It's Walden Bay.
Okay, well, I mean,
It's
it's
up
a
a
holiday.
hill. Yeah, it's not the most desirable thing, I don't think.
There's a lot of holiday lets up there though.
Yeah, but I would rather just sell it on, I think. But yeah, I was hoping that maybe he'd be open to the idea of me paying him so he could finish his off and not have to worry about next door either, because I think he said if he manages to get the funds, he'll finish his off, live in it for a while, and then look to sell that one to move in next door to then finish that off. It's going to be a long process.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's really what he wants. So,
so it sounds like you need to have a proper catch up with him and find out what he really needs
yeah,
and what
I've
he
left
really
it
wants. And...
in the builder's hands and said, this is what I'm thinking. Because I've not met this man. Obviously, he's got that connection with him already. I said, maybe float the idea, see how he feels about it, and go from there. So maybe one day. Yeah. If it's meant to be, it will be. I believe that.
100%. Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. I think, especially if you're putting it out there and you keep trying, and there's so many no's you get. And
I've had a lot of no's.
Eventually get a yes. Yeah.
I just see it as one step closer to a yes.
Exactly.
That mindset.
I think that is the biggest thing with starting property. I don't know about you, but I found it is quite hard. Well, it's a lot harder than they kind of make out that it's going to be.
Oh,
everything's hard.
Everything's a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, and it isn't. It's easy. Some people seem to sort of start and get,
I think mindset is bigger than people realise, and that's probably a good starting point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So do you think your mindset is in the right place now?
The majority of the time, I'm human. I still have bad days. I think I always.
If I'm feeling a bit run down or something, I'll just like, oh no, I can't.
Yeah.
Not today.
just take that day off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of being a property. You can take the day off.
You can, yeah. I'm still at that point where I have a day job.
Yeah. So
it's only part time. I've managed to get down to part time, but yeah, my plan isn't to do that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to have that freedom.
It's nice. Right, and there's a dog trying to get in, so that's probably a good time to. No, it's been really good chatting, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think I want to do it again soon and find another topic to start on.
Definitely.
So, bye.
Bye.